Get in the camera. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Camry Show.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Ree. And today we have another TED Talk type video for you guys. So today we're going to talk about like the inner mind of graduating during 2020.
Yes, during the pandemic.
It was really a struggle, you know. Let's first talk about like how we found out, okay?
All right. Ooh, this is
okay. I'll go first. So here's how I found out. So this was during my school's spring break. We went to spring break, right? And I remember they sent out an email saying that, oh, spring break is gonna extend a few days. We were like, okay, cool, lit, that's fine. So then they sent out another email and it was like, spring break is extended indefinitely. And it was like, okay, cool, fine, yeah. So then, you know, like a few weeks go by, then months go by. We're like, bro, we are not going back to school. This is crazy. Like, we didn't even get to say bye to our friends. Like, I remember people was talking about they crying, they depressed, they just, mind you, I wasn't crying about it, but I was just like, dang, that's tough, you know? And I was like, I think at this time, I had literally bought my prom dress, didn't get to wear it. I wasn't really too sad about that, but I mean, I still have it. But what else? I wasn't really sad for anything because like I said, I played volleyball. Our season was already over. But I mean, the people who I wanted to see, I still saw anyways.
Now she broke rules. Okay, so mind you, 2020 we're seniors. It's our last year of high school. That's one notable thing, right? So how I found out this happened in my high school, everybody kept on talking about Corona weeks before spring break, like because you know it was apparent in China. So all my friends was like, yeah, you know that Corona, that Rona, blah, blah. And I was like, I brushed it off. I was like, people be talking, kids be talking, like So it was, we about to go to spring break, and I was talking to one of my favorite teachers, before I left. He was the last person I talked to that day, and I remember he was all like, yeah, have a good spring break, but you know, if coronavirus gets bad, I'm not gonna see you ever again.
What did he say?
And I'm thinking this man joking, because he had like dark humor like that, like he would have dark humor like that. And so I'm just like, LOL, you so funny, like anyways. So then spring break, I planned on going to the rodeo. And then I remember I had a tour, like I planned on doing a whole lot of stuff. I want to get a piercing, and then I had a tour for my schools because I already accepted my acceptance letter and everything. But me and my mom were just like, yeah, we just go do a tour just to see the school, period, point blank. That way I'm about to be in for the next 4 years. Tell me why. I found out, like, tell me why. They basically said that too. They're all like, oh, we're gonna extend spring break a few days. I'm like, okay, babe, you know. And the next thing you know, my rodeo got canceled. And I really found out because that tour, they canceled my tour because they're like, the pandemic is being bad, like coronavirus is out here. And then boom, I'm stuck at home, we taking classes online, and teachers weren't really grading for real, no way. So then I was like, dang, this is a little bit sad. But mind you, I had a job at the time, and I feel like this point in my life, I remember I wrote in my diary. Nobody knows I have a diary, but I have a diary. I remember in my diary how stressed I was dealing with school and work, and then my mom just had my baby brother, so I was really stressed about everything. Cause I'm like at home, it's a little bit hectic with a new baby. At work, I'm trying to work, get my money, and then at school, I'm trying to make sure my grades are good. So I felt like everything was happening. So then when the pandemic came, I was like, okay, I get a little break. Mind you, I have a baby brother, so I just hang out with him most of the time, hang out with my mom, and then like I'm not trying to be insensitive, like people didn't lose their lives or lose loved ones during the pandemic, but it didn't really affect me in a negative way. It was really a nice break, in my opinion, that I really needed. Yeah.
Well, I literally had got a job like when the pandemic hit, like March.
Yeah, it hit like March.
I want to say the beginning of March, I had got a job, and I had like right after I got that job, the pandemic happened. So, but I was working at Sonic, so they was like, "Oh, y'all are essential workers." So I still had to go to work and stuff. So I I would go see like my niece and nephew at the time, 2020. They was like 5. So like I would go around them, but I really tried to like distance myself for real. But I would still play with them sometimes, just cause like they was young and I didn't really want to get them sick, and then I didn't want to get it either. So it's just like, of course I wore my mask everywhere, every time. The only places I was going was to work and back home. So yeah, and I just remember during that time, like a lot of people went on walks. Like a lot of people was going crazy in their house. Yes, and then like teachers, like you said, teachers wasn't really giving us no homework. I remember like one of the only assignments I had, my teacher was like, I want you guys to make a mask out of something you find at home. That's it.
Like, yeah.
It was real easy.
But yeah, so basically I just went to school and work because I work fast food too. So I was considered an essential worker or whatever. And I just remember going to work and the line being like out the door because people just wanted to get out their house though. That's the thing. Like I would see the same people every week, maybe even every day, just so they could get out the house. I remember like I used to live by a park. Everybody and their mom was outside at the park now because they're like, oh, I need a fresher breath air. They just want to get out the house. So I feel like at this time people were really like, I just want to get out the house. And I think some people that even did have COVID, they still came through my drive-thru.
I think a lot of people wasn't even taking it serious at first.
Yeah,
like,
they
a lot
really
of people were just
weren't.
like, man, forget this. Like, I just need to get out the house.
People thought it was the end of the world. All the stores, they had
no cap. I thought it was the end of the world too. I thought we was finna plummet.
Oh,
I
didn't think it was
down.
the end of the world. I was like,
I did.
Another struggle.
I did because it was just like the more. Like everybody was out of work, everybody was working at home, people were getting laid off of jobs.
Yeah,
like this sad. Is like I felt like we are literally living like textbook history type stuff, like real life. And it was just like a lot of people really felt bad for us because it was like we didn't know the main thing. Like my main concern was graduation. I wanted a real graduation, and a lot of people were just like. Some people were not having one. Some people were like, are we gonna have one? Whatever, da da da. And so I remember a lot of people was like, oh, let's adopt the senior. Let's make their senior year better or whatever. And I remember I had got adopted by like my 3rd grade teacher, and she used to come to my job and stuff.
And then I think graduating, I already went to my junior prom, so I wasn't really worried about prom. I did not plan on going to prom my senior year because I went junior year. And then graduation, I was getting ready for graduation. I was like, yeah, because I'm going to wear this dress. I'm going to wear this wig. Like, I could not wait. But then when the pandemic hit, I was like, well, no graduation. And then we just had a car parade, which was cool. And then I finally got to see my friends after like months and months and months and everything. And like people were just so supportive, like because my high school was by a neighborhood, so like people in the neighborhood were just standing outside and they're just so nice. And like all the adults, basically, like a lot of adults, when you would be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be graduating, they'll be like, oh, like it's okay, I'm so sorry you didn't really get your senior experience. A lot of my teachers felt bad, and I feel like a lot of my teachers, they were really like sad too, because they're like, bruh, like to see your student having to go through that, and then you can't really do nothing, and then you can't even see them walk or anything like that. It's like, dang. So I feel bad for my teachers as well. And one of my teachers even wanted to take a picture with me when I had to pick up my cap and gown and stuff.
I'll tell you, we had so many drive-by stuff, like it's ridiculous. I can't even count on both of my hands how many drive-by stuff we had just for that end of the senior year alone.
Right.
But I remember, so we actually were fortunate enough to have a real graduation, because where I'm from, like they had just built a baseball stadium, and the baseball stadium opened at the top, and it was really big. So they were like, okay, well, we can social distance people, and everybody can come, and we can have y'all walk across the baseball field. Cool. So we did that. It was actually really nice.
Rihanna Christine Dunlap.
But so I am a summer baby. My birthday is June 11th. So I remember that year, of course, I couldn't really do much because the pandemic was still going on. So I didn't really do nothing, and I didn't plan nothing. My mom never asked me about nothing, so we never planned nothing, period.
Happy birthday, dear Rihanna.
my birthday comes, and I was like, I remember I was like, Mom, can we go get our nails done? She said, no, I got work to do or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Mind you, nobody's hitting my line. Nobody's telling me happy birthday. Nobody's calling me. Bro, I was so sad. Like, I was just trying to do something, bro. I was so sick of being in the house since March, bro. And I was like, can we go get something to eat? Can we do something? And I was like, no. So I was like, okay. So what am I supposed to do? She was like, you can work on your scholarship applications. I said, I promise you, when she said that, I busted out crying. Like, I was crying so bad. I was like, bro, this is the worst birthday ever. Like, and then what happened? So then my aunt had came. Oh, and we had got, you know, the yard sign things.
Yeah, yard signs.
Yes, I had the yard sign out there for my birthday or whatever. But that was like the only thing that was out there. So I had seen it or whatever. Well, no, I actually didn't. No, yeah, I did see it. And they were like, my aunt came and she was inside or whatever. And I was crying and stuff. And she was like, come outside so I can take a picture by the sign. I was like, no, I don't want to take no picture. Like, I don't take no picture. So I was just crying. She was like, come outside, take this picture. Take this picture, da da da. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So mind you, now I'm crying. I have an attitude. I'm trying to clear up my face so I can take a picture.
Right.
So we go outside and she's taking a picture. Why 80 million thousand cars started driving through my front door, and they come and each one and just handed me gifts. My mom brought out this whole basket and I was just, thank you, put it in the basket, thank you, put it in the basket. I was cheesing so hard, y'all. They got me good. They got me so good. Because I promise you, I was so sad. Oh, I forgot too. I was like, my friend was supposed to come to my house. So I was like, can you come to my house? Like, I'm not having a good day. And she was like, yeah. And she was supposed to spend the night. She was like, yeah. And so then I was like, you can come right now. And she was like, oh, I'm doing something right now. I'll come in a couple hours. A couple hours come. I was like, are you coming? She was like, no, give me a couple more hours. Whole time, she only said that she forgot about the drive-thru. So she had to keep playing like she was doing something and that she was going to come later. So yeah, that's what happened. And all my friends was in the drive-thru, and all my family people, all my church people, everybody came, and it was real nice, and I was really surprised.
Do you have a video?
I don't have a video, but I'm sure there is one.
But yeah, so the same thing happened to me. My mom tried to surprise me, but unfortunately, my grandma talks too much. She has a big mouth, and I don't you know this. So I already was hinting that she was planning something. So this was after my little car parade with my high school. My mom wanted to do a separate one just for me, so like I could see my family. Mind you, we went to New Orleans to take grad pictures. So I'm like, yeah, we taking grad pictures just in my hometown, something cute, sweet. I didn't expect nothing of it. But then like, I just know when my mom is planning something, because she's a surprise. Like, she likes to surprise you. Like, all my life, it's been surprises a lot. So I'm like, I feel like she planning something. Like, she a little bit secretive. Like, I don't know. I just had a feeling. Then my grandma said, oh, you didn't know about the parade? Like, I'm talking to her on the phone. And I was like, what parade? She said, dang, I didn't ruin the surprise. I was like, oh. And then I was like, yeah, I was planning a car parade for you, So then I had my car parade, but my mom surprised me again. Like, I knew about the car parade, and I was standing outside, and we decorated like my little table and everything. It was cute. And there's a video. And she surprised me by having my best friend from back home. He pulled up, and I was like, oh my God, Ryan! Like, I'm gonna add a clip of the video, but basically I shrieked like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Like, I'm thinking it's just family people. Like, she didn't even tell me. I don't even know how she got his number. I was like, oh my God, I was so surprised.
Who is that, Camille? Give him a bag. That's our bestie, y'all.
But part 2 coming up. Part 2 is gonna be about coming to college freshman year during the pandemic. So yeah. So that is 2 for part 2.
And thank y'all for watching the video.
Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
And check out our Instagrams in the description box down below. We'll catch y'all next time. Bye.